Boy, what a day to decide to wear a Tesla hoodie and have a coupon expiration day tonight. Price goes up tonight. So if you're not in yet on those buy sell alerts and those course member live streams, get in before the price goes up. Hey everyone, me Kevin here. It's so crazy that today is the day I decided to wear the Tesla hoodie because we got rug pulled live. It was really scary, and I was definitely really sad when I heard the headline that Tesla was canceling the Model 2. I immediately thought, what does this mean about production? This means the new production line that Elon's been promoting maybe failed. Now, we hedged that maybe this was all fake news, which it all turned out to be fake news. We said, maybe Elon's just going to come out and say, wrong, fake news. That's actually exactly what he ended up doing. He said Reuters is lying. Reuters, of course, was citing 3 confidential sources or anonymous sources, which, who knows? Maybe those are disgruntled employees who got fired. Or maybe they're short Tesla. I'm not even short Tesla. I've been short Tesla for a while. I go in, I go out, I make little day trades. I send these day trades to people in my stocks and psychology and money group. Hey, yesterday we were up like $8,000, betting like 10 to 20K. It was great. Sometimes we can make some good money. Sometimes we don't. Not all trades work out. But I'm not short Tesla right now. And quite frankly, I want to rebuy Tesla because we made a tax loss harvesting move. Now, yeah, we could rebuy Tesla right now cheaper. But I'll tell you, I felt like stabbed in the back when I heard there was a chance, even just a chance, a rumor, that the Model 3 would be canceled. Now, there's good news, because maybe the Model 3 is not canceled, maybe it's just being turned into the robotaxi. And that is the current mainstream thesis amongst the ultra bulls. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm long-run bullish Tesla too, but I don't like to come across as, okay, let me rephrase this. I want to phrase this properly, okay? Here's what a lot of people do on social media. They go on Twitter, they see what everybody else is saying, and then they look at the comments and go, the popular thing to do is say, oh, this is actually good news. This must mean we're even closer to robotaxi than we ever thought. And then everybody reiterates that narrative. The problem is, I can't believe that because the iterations that I'm seeing on version 12 FSD with my personal experience are not that exceptionally much better to suggest that we are now all of a sudden able to price in full self-driving without a steering wheel. I know that's the bullish narrative. Folks, we are this much closer. Elon is on the way. He said we were going to start developing the Model 2 at the end of 2025, and you know what? It's here. Except the Model 2 is not only going to come at the end of 2025 with a $25,000 price tag, it's going to come full self-driving ready. I don't see it until probably 2030. Now, why do I say that? Am I just a Tesla bear? Do I want the stock to go? No. The reality is, going from version 11 to version 12 was a step forward, maybe even 2 steps forward. But we did take 1, maybe even a half a step back. The vehicle still makes a lot of mistakes. There are a lot of edge case scenarios when the vehicle is driving without a lead car where it performs poorly. It's also very slow on right turns. It clips curbs. It's slow on stop signs. It's slow on red lights. And it makes mistakes. Sometimes it even misses signs that should be obvious. Now, these are all normal edge case scenarios, and this is why full self-driving is considered supervised. From a logical point of view, of course, we're not there yet today. But suggesting that all of a sudden iterations are moving so quickly for full self-driving is disingenuous. For example, some folks on Twitter or X are saying, oh, well, we could get iterations much faster. Look how quickly we went from version 12 to 12.1, 2, 3, whatever, right? 3.3, whatever. Yeah, this is true. We've been getting a new update for FSD like every week, it feels like. And that's great, especially since it used to be like every 6 months we'd get an update. But these are nominal updates between iterations at the moment, at least in my driving experience. And I drive very little. And so if in my driving experience, we're nearly clipping curbs, We're screwing up without a lead car, and we're pulling moves that feel utterly dangerous. And again, those are the edge case scenarios, but those are the edge case scenarios that I wasn't dealing with version 11. Then I can't help myself but feel like we're actually a little bit further back. I actually feel like version 12 is version 1. It's neural net version 1. That's my take. So, now Elon Musk called out Reuters saying that Reuters is lying. So immediately, everybody who's pure Tesla bull says the SEC should investigate Reuters. No, what should actually happen is the 3 sources within Tesla who said this to Reuters should be investigated. That is the logical thing to say. That you must understand, why would somebody say that? If it's true or partially true, then we need to know that. We need to have a discussion about it. If it's not true, then we need to understand that. The SEC investigating Reuters isn't the issue. It's actually Tesla's PR that's the issue. It's the anonymous sources that are the issues. So, if anything, the SEC should be investigating, why do we have such bad PR at Tesla? Why are we not able to control weird rumors like this? So my concern is that Tesla's not in a position to appropriately stand before investors and say, look, here's our roadmap for deliveries, here are our projections, here is when we actually think the Model 2 will come. Now, people respond and say, but Kevin, Elon said Reuters is lying. This is not binary. In fact, I'm going to throw this up on screen in my response. You can see this right here on Twitter. Oscar Herrera, right here. Oscar Herrera, by the way, has in his bio that he is a Tesla investor and a homeschooling dad. Okay, great. So we get it. You like Tesla. That's fantastic. I like Tesla too. He says, the article mentioned the cancellation of the Model 2 car. That's true. Reuters put out a piece that said, based on 3 anonymous sources and conversations that occurred in February meetings attended by scores of employees, the Model 2 has been canceled. Okay. So Oscar says, Elon said they are lying. Yes, Elon said Reuters is lying again. What part remains true? What clarification is needed? Oscar, this is very simple. You have to know Elon is really good at playing word games. And I'm not saying Elon is lying, but my response is very clear. Elon did not say Reuters is lying about the cancellation of the Model 2. He said they're lying. Okay, about which part? All of it or some of it? As long as there is a chance that some of the story is true, Wall Street has to price in the fact that 2026 expectations pricing in a Model 3 being produced at 10,000 vehicles per week starting at the end of 2025 is not going to happen. And instead, the vehicle is going to get delayed until 2027, which means our EPS targets for 2026 come down, which means our ability to attract funding, loans, and talent to Tesla go down. These are the same type of Tesla bulls who say, Tesla has over $20 billion of cash. No. They have about $3.5 billion of cash. Read the damn balance sheet. This is not emotional. This is data. When the data comes out, you need to respond to it. There's some people like, oh, well, Kevin, you shouldn't be amplifying fake news. I didn't know it was fake news when the article came out, and I said there's a chance it could be fake news. I'm the loser who went live on it, and then it was wrong. But I said it could be wrong. But of course, nobody wants to remember that because people like to hate on Meet Kevin. Just because I'm first, and I try to provide perspective. Sucks for them that they're not first in this case. Sucks for me because people have this impression, oh, well, Kevin, that was wrong. How am I supposed to know? We should be covering it, and we said it. We said, it could be wrong. If it's true, here's why it's a problem. If it's wrong, is it completely wrong or is it partly wrong? My opinion stands that I actually don't believe that the story is 100% false. I actually think the story is probably 25% correct. I think the Model 2 is getting delayed. Why do I think the Model 2 is getting delayed? Because we're not breaking ground in Mexico. If the production lines were so close to ready, we would be breaking ground in Mexico. The permits are ready. Instead, we're not breaking ground in Mexico. There's a delay. So the story is probably partly true. There is a delay. Is the Model 2 completely canceled? Well, I don't know. Elon's not clarifying beyond suggesting that, well, we're just going to call it the robotaxi. Okay, so was the Model 2 canceled and we're just sticking with the robotaxi? And now you're just going to call the robotaxi the Model 2? Okay, so then the article is partly true. The Model 2 itself is canceled with the steering wheel, but the Model 2 FSD is not canceled. So it is partly true. So then we're making a bet on, as Gary Black says, a potentially more risky option, which is, well, what happens if now we're making a bet not on a lower cost production car that could compete with the Civic and the Corolla at a $25,000 price target? Instead, what we're doing is making a bet on the realization of FSD, which I do think eventually it'll happen. Eventually we'll get robotaxi. I'm a long-term bull on that. But in the short term, we are now creating more potential pain for 2024, 5, and 6. Again, the Tesla bulls, the ultra bulls, don't want to hear this. I want to be as neutral as possible. Yeah, I'm not sure. Some people are like, hey, you can already get a $25,000 model, Tesla vehicle. Yeah, we've talked about that before. Used Teslas, plenty of used inventory, plenty of existing inventory for Model 3s and Model Ys. There are plenty of Teslas available to buy. And you get some of the tax credits between the federal tax credit on the Model Y and maybe a Colorado state tax credit. You get like 15 grand off a 28K Tesla or a 38K Tesla. Well, that's pretty great. You pay $38K for a Tesla, get $15K off, you're at $23,000. So there are ways you can actually get down to a $25,000 vehicle already. But again, the lack of Elon Musk clarifying why did this rumor start and is any of it true is weird. Like, all you have to do, Elon, is say, all of it is false. And nothing has changed with our plans. But that's not what's being said. Instead, what's being said is Reuters is lying again, which Elon has a bias towards saying that, right? Because that benefits X. That benefits the Elon free speech mentality. The mainstream media news sucks. So Elon is biased towards just saying Reuters is lying. But there should, for a Tesla investor point of view, be a clarification. Was any part of it true? Because if any part of it is true, then we need to know what the change is. Now, maybe we'll hear about it in the next earnings call. But the reality is the NASDAQ has moved up 50 basis points since this news. Tesla has a beta of 2, which means Tesla should be up 1%. At the time, Tesla was down 1/3%, so we should be up about 2/3%. Right now, Tesla's not up 2/3%. Tesla's down 1.8. Well, so being up 2/3%, 67 basis points, that puts us down about 2.2-ish%. So we're down about 2.2% from where we should be. This is the stock market discounting that there is uncertainty. Depending on how Tesla closes today, will be predicated on how much clarity we get on this and how much Wall Street actually believes that maybe there's good news here versus bad news. That's the way the Uber bulls are going to spin this story. They're going to tell you this is great news. This means robotaxi is even closer. But wait a minute. When we're actually using FSD, we're like, oh, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Anyway, remember we have an expiring coupon code today, linked down below from all my buy-sell alerts. It is linked in the description down below. If you want to bundle up, email us at staff@meetkevin.com. You get life insurance in as little as 5 minutes by going to metkevin.com/life. Lauren and I use it. It's great. We Apple Android pay for it. It's super Apple Pay, although I do have an Android as well. It's right here. And of course, remember the warrant deadline for Househack is Monday. If you have questions, email us at ir@househack.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.
Even though I'm a licensed financial advisor, licensed real estate broker, and becoming a stockbroker, this video is not personalized advice for you. It is not tax, legal, or otherwise personalized advice tailored to you. This video provides generalized perspective, information, and commentary. Any third-party content I show shall not be deemed endorsed by me. This video is not and shall never be deemed reasonably sufficient information for the purposes of evaluating a security or investment decision. Any links or promoted products are either paid affiliations or products or services we may benefit from. I also personally operate an actively managed ETF. I may personally hold or otherwise hold long or short positions in various securities, potentially including those mentioned in this video. However, I have no relationship to any issuer other than Househack, nor am I presently acting as a market maker. Make sure if you're considering investing in Househack to always read the PPM at househack.com.